This video is all about how to work with difficult emotions like anger and frustration. So the first thing to know is that your emotions are not bigger than you are. Your emotions are not bigger than you are. So working with something like anger or frustration, which can feel like it's so intense that it's difficult to relate to, other than to maybe push it down, push it away, or try and divert ourselves into something else. Know that if you're experiencing emotion, it's coming through you, it's something within you, and therefore it's not bigger than you. You are housing this thing. And so in your awareness, in your consciousness, you have the ability to approach it, to explore it, to be curious about it, and to find a new way of relating to it. So that's the first thing. Know that you can get in contact with these big feelings, and it doesn't have to be too much for you. It is possible. With that said, obviously if it does feel too intense for whatever moment you're going through, and circumstances might bring our tolerance for big emotions up or down, then take your time with it. Find the right rhythm. The next piece I think that's really important is you don't have to process your emotions like we see it on TV. When we see people getting angry and frustrated on TV, there's a lot of throwing things, there's a lot of kind of violence, there's a lot of physical expression of it, which isn't necessarily getting anywhere or doing much to develop that higher relationship with these big emotions. So I encourage people to take a more contemplative approach and a more creative approach. So sitting down with your big emotions, let's say you're working with anger today, and going in with this contemplation with the idea that, you know, I'm housing this anger, and therefore I'm bigger than it, I'm going in, I'm exploring it, I'm being curious about it. You might also notice that there might be other aspects of you that you can take with you in the exploration of anger. You might take your self-compassion on this contemplative journey. You might take your heart with you. Remember, the heart can hold it all. And you might take your humor with you. Sometimes when we come face to face with these big emotions and start to allow them to be felt in the body and being, that sense of welcoming can actually be surprising. The way in which it shows up might not be what you expected, and having your humor, your heart, your courage, your self-compassion along for the ride can be really helpful. From there, I like to invite people to move into something like journaling or doodling to get a little bit of third-party perspective on what you're experiencing. So we might start, I wonder if my anger is ... So that's just the start of the sentence, and see what comes. I wonder if my anger is blah, 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 blah. Just let yourself automatically write, see what comes through, read it back, throw it away. It's just an exercise. Be curious about what comes, or try doodling. Actually try and draw your anger. Where does it live in the body? What does it look like? What color would it be? What else is there? Let that be the start of a creative process. It doesn't have to be, you know, a great artwork or anything like that, but just an exploration for you. And that can be such a helpful way of getting a bit of third-party perspective. Now I can see my drawing. Now I can read what my anger's had to say through me. And I can start to relate to it in a slightly different way, a bit like sitting down with a coach or a therapist and they reflect things back to you. You can, through tasks like this, do these self-reflective exercises. So I think that's probably a good place to start. If today feels like a good enough day to get going, looking at those emotions and exploring a bit deeper, have a go at those exercises and let me know how you get on. Thanks so much for watching this video.